Ms. Morgan's musical motto for this video is make sure you've got the right stuff on your paper. So this is a continuation of Chapter 8, Section 1, Growth of Royal Power. This section is about the monarchs in France who were trying to get more power. So if you look at the bullets up top, there wasn't a unified kingdom in France, and a lot of the French territories were ruled by powerful nobles. Remember, for what I said in the first video, at this point, these are nation states. They're not the countries we know today of England and France, but they're on their way to getting there. So first up, Hugh Capet and the Capetians, which is his family. So the reason why it says that is because you have a dynasty there for the family. The throne became hereditary, passed down from father to son, and so the family ruled for a long time. This led to stability for France at that time. We also have they earned the church's support, which is very important at this time. The church was very powerful, so that was always a bonus and a good thing. Then we have, you might have something in your notes about a bureaucracy. So it might be a good idea to highlight that definition so it stands out a little bit. That's not the straightest highlight there, but bureaucracy is just referring to a system of government where you have different jobs broken down and different people have different responsibilities. So what this leads to is an organized government that hopefully runs smoothly. And if you can see on my paper, when it says royal law was put into effect, those are laws of France. Remember, royal refers to king or queen, so this is the king or queen's laws that are put into effect in France. So also, I just want to point out the U.S. has a bureaucracy in our government. Sometimes people complain about it, but we have different departments in our government and different levels of authority. And one example are the different departments. We have, I think there's 20-some. Department of Education, Department of Commerce, Transportation, Health and Human Services, what else? Homeland Security, and a bunch more. So our government is split up into different departments that where you have different people with different responsibilities. So I filled in for you the part about the middle class. So that's really important because if you think of who's in the middle class, it's a larger social class, and that is going to bring a monarch lots of followers and supporters, and that's good because you want a lot of people who support you if you're a monarch or some type of government ruler. So next up you have Philip II or Philip Augustus, and the first, this fill-in here sometimes is a little tricky for some people because I tried to read word what the book said. And basically, I want you to realize that because there were paid middle-class officials with government jobs, this led to these officials being loyal to Philip. So he paid middle-class officials who had government jobs. Ooh, this is so crooked. Oh, well. Okay, so this leads to their loyalty, which is always a bonus. You can see my purple highlighting, my favorite color of purple. All right. So other facts you may have are these two facts. Some people wrote them in the fill-in for the first bullet, but you may have them down here in the bullets. Also, you need to notice the facts I wrote in for you. Quadrupled royal land holdings. So Philip quadrupled the amount of land that the monarch had in France, and he's the one who won some land from King John of England. Also, there was a crusade, so a holy war against this group in France, the Albigensians, and he helped Pope Innocent III to put down this group, and that would have led to support from the church, which was always nice because the church was so powerful. And obviously Philip did a good job ruling. He was very powerful before his death in 1223. He had a lot of power. So when you're all set with this page, you want to move on to the last page and a different Philip from France. So Philip IV will be the last ruler you have information about, and he wanted to collect new taxes from the clergy, who are religious figures in the church, and this caused a problem. And the problem was that the Pope said that Philip couldn't tax the clergy without the Pope's approval. So that led to Philip sending the police after clergy who didn't pay. He threatened that they would be arrested. Then we had an escalation of the disagreement, and troops were sent after the Pope, and the Pope was able to escape but died shortly thereafter. So just like with Henry II of England, there was a clash with the church and someone ended up dying as a result of it. So drama in the club that led to someone dying, which is never good. So the last little section is something about the States General. It was just like Parliament, but it was not as powerful and had representatives from the different social classes in France. So I've listed the social classes there, and it may be a good idea to write what I did in blue, that like Parliament, it was like Parliament, this stuff here, but not as powerful. That may be a good thing to add to your notes. In this video, you learned about 3 French monarchs who were trying to increase their power, because remember back to the beginning of the packet, the monarchs had equal or less power than nobles and the church at this time in history, so they were trying to increase their power. This has been Miss Morgan. See you tomorrow with possibly more drama in the club and the world history class.